Hey man, I am live with you right now. I'm like, am I live? Yes. I am live with you right now, and it's my sincere pleasure to be here again with the stream show. Sunday night, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You have me, and I've been working all day for you today. I literally been working all day for you in this show today. So do me a favor, if you are chiming in, let me know that you're here with me today. And I would love to know where you are at and where you're coming from, where you're watching me from. And while you do that, I have some setup to do. So give me a second to do some setup here as you're coming in. There he is, my man Paul. I'm going to make you work today a little bit, Paul. I'm so excited about what I'm presenting because I want to use even the work that you're doing as a moderator to kind of talk to people about what you can do with Ecamm Live. Like, I don't know if you were excited or anybody was really excited about what Ecamm announced with 4.0, but of course, we've been using it for beta. I use it for beta every week. I am one of the beta guys, right? So I use it all the time. So, but still hearing all of the features and something I haven't used that I really want to get into using. And I'm doing some setup, guys, because I've been working all afternoon and I still have more work to do to present this to you. But guess what? We are going to do it today. I was really surprised by all of the features and functions, especially one of the features with the script. Guys, you don't know what kind of game changer this really is when we're integrated with the script to be able to just automatically drop your video file into the script for editing. I'm telling you, if you are not on it, like, you need to figure it out. You need to figure it out. Figure it out. I'm telling you, you need to figure it out. And I had to stop talking so I can type here because I forgot like what I was doing. But I have a great show. Listen, if you're somebody that's using Ecamm right now, you're proficient with it. Okay, I'm talking about somebody that you know what you're doing. There's so many opportunities for you in the workforce to use Ecamm Live because it gives you the opportunity as a remote producer, as a live remote video producer, virtual video producer, to do so many things. And guess what? People are looking for you. I'm telling you, hear me now, listen to me later. People are looking for you to be able to get you jobs if you're good at it. If you're good at it, they are looking for you. Okay? So that's something I want to help you guys with today. We're going to talk about it all. And are you guys still checking in with me? Larry, man, how you doing? He's in Florida. Larry, is it good weather down there? Is it really good weather? David Hunt, man, thank you for hanging out with me tonight as well. Everybody tell them, Strick is on. We are here today to help you out. If you're a content creator, again, if you're using Ecamm, we have some things we are going to talk about, okay? So I just wrote down a few of my notes when we talk about Ecamm Live. So I'm solo today, guys. So it's just me and you. So I need all the audience participation I can absolutely get. If you're here today, you learned something you didn't know. If and the energy that I have tonight excites you about what Ecamm has provided, I need you to hit the like button, okay? The weather is off and on and kind of decent. Decent day. Well, that's what's up. We always think, I'm in Alabama, that the weather's always great in Florida. I know it rains every day, but it's got to be better than what the weather is here. It's rainy and like 50-something degrees here. So that for me, that's kind of cold. I don't like it. But I'm here with you today. I'm in the basement studio doing the stream show. All right. So I've been with Ecamm for more than 2 years now. And when we first got on, Lights, camera, action. Join the stream team and be a part of the streaming network. Our goal is to help you succeed. There I am. Let me get to this one right here. This is where I want to be. So when I started with Ecamm, just get right back into my conversation, guys. I need you to chime in about your experience with Ecamm when you first got it as well. I think it was in three or maybe 2, the second version. I'm not really sure. I don't remember. At that point, I wasn't keeping up with it as much because I was really trying my best to learn the system. So I really was just using it to connect with, at the time, it was Restream. Okay. David's in Massachusetts. I did know that, David. That's what's up. He's in the 40s there. Yeah, a little colder in Massachusetts, but I guess that may be good weather for you, right? I needed to connect Ecamm to something like a Restream, something like a Caster, something like OneStream to be able to multicast. But I had to use Ecamm because those other systems didn't have their own studios. They didn't have a way for you to go into their platform and then broadcast it out. I think Restream was maybe the first one that started their own. And Rebel Without a Reason, thank you for hanging out with me tonight. And yeah, I guess that would be a little cold in the Bay Area. It's 48. I guess we're all kind of teetering in the same little weather here. That being said, Ecamm provided the best in production. Okay, so I started out with using vMix at my church, at my job, and then I wanted to be able to have a production suite at home, but vMix doesn't work with Macs or iOS devices. So I needed to find something to work with my setup here at home. I think I have a MacBook Pro is what I started with. And when I found Ecamm, it took me one day to say, yes, let me buy this for the whole year. I love the features, functions. It was so very intuitive from day one. It was easy to go live. It was easy to do the switching. I learned how to stack my overlays. I learned how to stack my scenes. And I'm telling you, my show was up and running within a week as far as how I wanted to use it, because all of us, especially through the pandemic, what are you going to do? It's the best opportunity to do podcasting, do live streaming, go live on Facebook. At the time, Facebook was telling every friend you had that you were live. You remember those days where you got so much notifications from everybody saying that you were live, and then they kind of stopped that. But I used Ecamm to get out there. Everybody was like, well, how are you doing this? How are you going from video to live stream and all of that stuff? It was Ecamm. So now with 4.0, Ecamm is setting itself apart from everybody else. Not only are you getting all of the great production features that we have been used to, but you also are getting multi-streaming up to 10 different locations. Now, the caveat to that is you got to have a banging internet service. Some people around the country has fiber, and I'm so jealous of you. I don't have fiber. I have 20 megs up. That's the best I could do. And I think for the stream that I desire to have, I need at least 7 per destination. So I really could go to 2 destinations based off of my internet setup. Okay, probably I may have to, yeah, and that's at 1080p. That's at 1080p. I couldn't do 4K at 2 locations based off of my speed. But for those that may have 500 megabytes, you guys can just go get it. Go to as many places as you can. And the other thing is making sure that you have the M1 silicone Mac. Those devices are what you want to be sure that you're using 4.0 in, because it is integrated for the new system. Okay? It's integrated for that new system. You could do up to 10 guests with 4.0. You want to have a party online? Ecamm Live allows you to do that, bringing all your friends in, be on camera at one time using this new system 4.0. I'm excited about that. What else did I write down? I talked about the script. I talked about the fort. What's up, Andrew? Man, thanks for hanging out with me tonight. Good to see you. Recording each video track is now available. So, we were doing audio and you were thinking if I was podcasting, I can then, if I needed to tweak the visitor's voice, maybe they were high or low, and you need to just do some editing. You could do it with the audio, but you can never do it with the video. So now, if you have guests, you're able to do it with Larry. Man, I am so jealous of everybody that has fiber. All right, I'm jealous. I'm telling you, Ecamm, there's so much you could do. All right, when you have fiber, just go into different locations. Go at 4K. You can stream at 4K with fiber. All of that stuff. It just makes it so much easier. All right, the Amazon Live chat that just did. Come on, man. So everybody that's using Amazon Live, you're going live into Amazon because I believe in talking about things that content creators can monetize regardless of the YouTube partner program. Amazon is one of those ways, as you're talking about any tech that you have, you're able to go live and get paid from Amazon while you're live talking about their products. All right. So these are just things that I'm talking about 4.0 as people are checking in. Tonight, we are talking about remote production. We're talking about remote production. And for everyone that is on the call or watching today, I'm going to end the show today going down at this time. It's January 29th. At this time, I did some research and I got somewhere between 8 and 9 or 8 and 10 different jobs that are available online for remote producers. Okay? Virtual producers. With all of the stuff that that Ecamm could do if you're proficient in it, if you really know Ecamm, you could qualify for these jobs. I'm telling you, like when I tell you some of the things that are out there right now, it would just blow your mind. And this is not an exhaustive list. There's more. There are people all the time looking for remote producers. And we always think, man, I want to be in front of the camera. Like there's people that are great in front of the camera and they are great in garnering an audience. But some of us are still trying to get to the YouTube partner program and we're missing out on some money that you can make right now. This is what I'm really not passionate about that. Well, you want to be passionate about paying the light bill. Okay, take a couple of hours out and sell your services, sell the ability that all of the features and functions that Ecamm has. Number one, you have those features and functions available as a business person, as a remote producer. You have that ability with Ecamm. Okay? Like I can't be any more clear about it than that. You have that ability. So what I want to do right now is I am going to get into this presentation really quick, guys. So let me go into preview mode here so I can make sure everything was set up the right way. I want to be sure that I don't do something or miss something here. So let's go this up here. And I want to go to share my screen. Should be able to choose. There we go. And I want to publish that. Took me a minute to get there, but we are live with this. And I am also going to get here so you guys can see me on screen while I go through this. Okay, moved it too fast. Let's go back. Here we go. Just give me a second. I'm going to add myself on screen here. Listen, I've taken the time to really dive deep into this for you. So I'm excited about what we're going to talk about tonight and the opportunity for you to see all of this. Let's hang out over here. Shouldn't much be going on this side. That being said, let me dive down into live remote production. And as I was doing the study on this, guys, has several different names. Okay, several different names. So virtual production is one of them. Live remote production is one of them. So you may have to use a couple of different keywords to get to all of what I have. Let's do this. Let's go through this, and then we'll talk about those jobs that I found for you today. So the first thing I want you to be aware of is that with all you do, you want to be sure that you build your expertise. Okay. Publish here so you can see that. There we go. You want to be sure that you build your expertise in learning Ecamm Live. Okay? So what I'm saying here is sometimes we have the ability to use these programs, but we're not proficient in every area. So there's some things in Ecamm that feature-wise, guess what? I don't use all the time. I don't use it, so I'm not as aware of it. Like, I haven't played with the integration with the script yet. So what you want to do with a system like Ecamm that is so robust, you want to be sure that you are proficient with it. So if I say, hey, these are all the features that Ecamm has, now as a business owner, I have the ability to use these features, and I can now sell my services somewhere else. You want to be sure that line that you put there, you're able to do it. That's all I'm saying. You want to be sure that line you put there, you are able to do it. Yeah, I think I was still in preview mode. I think I made it out of there. Okay. Let me go right back to this. There we go. So the next thing is, what you want to do here is you want to create a portfolio or some type of media EPK or media package that you can send to people. All right. So as you are using the system, you want to be sure that you're able to send your package to a potential client, to a potential customer that looks good, that's sharp, that people could understand what you could do. It looks good, it is clear, it has all of your past jobs, what you're currently doing, how they can see your Instagram, your Facebook, your YouTube channel, like what you're doing there. You need to have a great portfolio of work showing that what you say you can do feature-wise, your resume is on paper and is visual for them so they could see it. All right. So you want to be sure you have that. The next thing is you want to be sure that you can network and market your abilities. So you got to get out there and get into some groups, get out there and do some of the research that I've done for you tonight about the jobs. You want to be sure that you're able to know what's going on. So what I was saying earlier, like there are different terms from virtual to remote production, virtual live production. So you want to be sure what the industry is calling these things, even if it is multiple things. You want to be sure that you know what those terms are. So when you go after those jobs and they're using different terms, you still know that your expertise applies. Does that make sense? No. Okay. That's me turning on my phone so I can see these notes here. All right. That being said, network and market. Facebook groups, guys, are some of the best ways to market yourself. You want people to know who you are. Find a large group in a particular area that you want to be in and be helpful inside of that group. All right. Don't go putting your resume out there. Just be helpful inside of the group and figure out who some of the players are and network with them. Okay. So I have a friend named Erica Bates, and she does remote production. She teaches it. She has clients and all of that. She has a mastermind that is actually free. Like finding those people that are doing remote production that may need a producer, and you be that producer for them. Okay? I've given you some real keys today to making this happen and offer a unique value proposition. And what we're saying here, the value that you have is that you have Ecamm and you know how to use it. And when I say this, you have Ecamm and you know how to use it. That is a big deal. I promise you, there are a lot of people that are using Ecamm, even people that are new to Ecamm as a software. They purchased it. They actually have an audience. They don't know how to work it. They will actually pay someone to do it for them. And you could be that person. You could be that person by just understanding it, and then you want to maintain quality. You want to be sure that you stay abreast of what some, like knowing the new features, knowing when things move. Like Paul, you remember the day 4.0 came out, and then everybody was like, "Oh, I got all these problems. They updated, and I got all this problems." You got to know the system, okay? Because I was like, I couldn't find the record button either. I had to, shut my system down, bring it back up, and guess what? Everything was just fine. Know your system and maintain quality by staying up to date with whatever systems you're using, even if you're using some other third-party apps with Ecamm. You want to be sure that you understand how it works, because the big thing is when you get in the heat of the battle and you are live and you are working for someone else, the game completely changes. All right. From being nervous, from, handling your nerves different from going live, because somebody is now paying you to do the service instead of you waiting on a check from YouTube. It's just different, guys. It's just a different feeling. It's a different situation. And you want to be sure that you're doing all you can to bring real quality to your clients. Ecamm is doing the hard work. You just want to be sure that when you press a button, that's where it is going. Okay? Be sure about that. So now what I want to do is I want to get into some of these jobs that are out there. Oh my God. Oh my God. I won't speed through these, and you're going to have to go online. So I will tell you ahead of time, guys. I went to, I Googled most of this, but Google sent me to Indeed. Google sent me to LinkedIn. So I spent a lot of time on LinkedIn following these jobs. And then I did see where a lot of these people post these jobs in several different places. Now, that being said, Facebook groups, I also want to say you would be very surprised, but a lot of your larger YouTube channel hosts, the bigger content creators, they're looking for editors. They're looking for remote producers. They're looking for people that have technical experience. And yes, they are probably the best at making sure those people are virtual, because everybody can be virtual in this space. So those are really great places that you automatically won't see them on LinkedIn. Okay, they're not posting jobs there and maybe talking to their community about they have openings. But unless they're really big or unless they're kind of disconnected, a lot of times people from their community wants to work with these larger YouTubers. You can be in those communities, figure out that they need a little help, and you could be that help, again, using Ecamm Live. So let's dive into these jobs. Now, I did this really quick. If you see typos, guys, I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. I did this really quick. So visit.org, they're looking for a technical producer. And this is the job. So it's actually out of Mexico. Like this first one I found is out of Mexico, but I thought it was like right on time when it came to what they were looking for. All right. As far as what they wanted people to do. Looking for a passionate technical producer to join our remote team. Technical producer will be responsible for both the technical execution of live virtual events in support of our talent, as well as lead pre-production of their events. Right on time here. Now, I don't have the actual pay for this particular job, but I want to tell you this, depending on the time, and this looks like it's a 9 to 5. So depending on the time frame that you actually give, we're talking anywhere from, it is a wide variety, okay? Anywhere from $50,000 to $90,000, with 70 being a sweet spot, okay? I'm just letting you know when it comes to remote production, if you are proficient, if you know how to use all the features and functions of Ecamm, this job right here, you would qualify for that. I'm just telling you, like I did the research. It's here. Now, this is not an exhaustive list. It has like all the jobs on LinkedIn. Of course, you're able to see the job description. You're able to see qualifications. And what I pulled, for people that were looking for journalism degrees and all of that, I didn't take those jobs. I didn't add those jobs. These are people that are just looking for people that know how to do remote production, that know how to do virtual events. Okay, but check what I'm saying here. You can go online and check that out and you'll be able to see it yourself. Okay. All right. I'm making sure I didn't miss anything. Cool. And I said I was going to talk about Paul because he's in the best position. Paul, our moderator, is in the best position of letting you guys know about how to actually get it started. I mean, he came into the community being a moderator and a help, and now he gets paid to moderate other people's streams. I mean, it's a novel idea. How can I help people? And then that service could actually turn into a business. I did a whole show. So all you need to do is go to ecamm.live, go to playlist, scroll down to the stream show, and then in that playlist, you'll actually see two streams with me and Paul. We did a part 1 and part 2 that night. Paul, remember that? And I went through Paul's story, and he was just willing to be a help, didn't know what he was going to do as a content creator, and it just all worked out for him, and he's excellent at what he does. So this is a part-time job here, and they're looking for people that can help them, a virtual-based contractor who provides world-class facilitation of the live stream, interact with interactive events hosted on their video sharing platform. Working in partnership with the live event support team, they will provide white glove support for facility and executive level participants during virtual sessions to ensure a high quality experience. I mean, it's right there for you guys. It is right there for you. Another virtual event coordinator, and this is remote. So virtual event coordinators will be responsible for ensuring all virtual events are set up correctly based on the needs of the business and will oversee moderation of all live events. And this is a full-time gig. So all you got to do tonight, as I'm going through these jobs, I'm giving you the business name to the left here, so you can actually Google that. Don't even. I got this from YouTube, or excuse me, not YouTube, LinkedIn or Indeed. But if you just spend your time on LinkedIn, you'll be able to find these jobs that I have. So virtual event producer, remote event producer, use those keywords to actually find it in LinkedIn, and you'll see these same jobs. I'm just sharing it with you tonight, hoping that it inspires you. All right. Hoping it inspires you to go a little further with this. Okay. So if you have this expertise, again, I've shared these jobs with you tonight. Let's see what else we got. Um, Meta Engine. So they're looking for. I wanted to share this one because you know there's so many attributes to what we're able to do with the features and functions of Ecamm. And if you're in the Ecamm community, guess what? If you watch Doc Rock, if you see what Anna and Fulgens is doing, if you see what I'm doing, if you see what Paul is doing, like this is all a part of being a good community manager. So this particular group is looking for a director of community. All right. They're looking for somebody to join their team. You could use Ecamm and social media help to be able to do this. All right. You're tech savvy professional, experienced in social media, PR, and promotional events. We would like to meet you. Okay? I'm telling you, these are jobs that are available for you, for people that are proficient at using Ecamm. Like, am I just wilding you with this? Like, if I am, I need a couple of likes. Like, if this is making sense to you, give me a like or two. That this is something that, hey, as I am using Ecamm, there's a potential that I actually could monetize myself by getting a job using what I know about Ecamm. Virtual event producer, cyber risk, is a business intelligence company, which was formed. Where does it talk about what they wanted? I think this one they're looking for a virtual event producer as well. And I like the fact that, for them, they want to be sure that they have internal and external help with making virtual events right. All right. They want to be sure that they have it right. So I really like this company. The department is seeking a virtual events producer to assist in managing various responsibilities tied to the operation, production, and client relations for webcasts and virtual events. Okay? I mean, it's all there for you. So someone says, like, how do we spent all this time figuring out how to use Ecamm, and now there's a whole industry that's blowing up looking for remote producers and virtual producers, and that's you guys. That's you. A lot of times we think about, okay, I want to be in front of the camera. Yes. My wife is a musician. I mean, you guys know that. I talk about my wife. She's a jazz flutist, right? And knowing the music business, I would tell you that the people that make the most money for the longest amount of time are the producers and writers. Okay, they get paid first from the music. So artists may come and go, but producers and writers stay around for a very long time. It's the people behind the scenes that have longevity and careers in the industry. I want you to hear me when I say that. That's not just the music industry. For any talent, if you're in front of the camera, you have a time frame. Now, there are always going to be those superstars that do it for years and years and years. I mean, we watch TV and we see people that do it for years. But I guarantee you, directors have a longer lifespan than actors. Script writers have a longer lifespan than actors. I'm just giving you my little tidbit to help you here. This one was very interesting, guys, that I found. This particular group, you'll be a part of a ongoing, detail-oriented live online event producers that delivers online training to members of the O'Reilly Learning Platform. They provide learning for the latest technology by connecting our members with instructors from the O'Reilly network of experts and innovators. We're looking to add to our team to accommodate the growing number of live training available on their platform. And they did have the salary range, so I put it down there. This was a really cool find because everybody that is proficient with Ecamm qualifies for this gig. And you see the money. I'm not taking you from your career. I'm telling you, if you want to monetize, there's a way for you to really monetize the knowledge that you have with what Ecamm is doing. I mean, we got 4.0. I'm telling you, if you like this, if this is making sense to you, um, go ahead and hit the like button. So there was a question I want to get to really quick. How do you produce remotely? So what I'm doing right now is a remote production. What I'm doing right now is a remote production. When I interview guests and I have guests coming onto my show, that is a remote production. I am in Birmingham, Alabama, going through YouTube out to the whole entire world using Ecamm. Okay, so that is remote production. So if they say, if someone comes up, and I guess I want to get through these jobs, but if someone comes up and say, hey, I want to do a training and I have the teacher, the person that's doing the training has a camera and audio, and you need to send them the link. You send them the link, and they send you their presentation, and you go through the slides while they teach it. Or they go through their slides and they're just using your internet connection and your tools and your mouse or the features and functions of Ecamm to get it to the students. They just want to take some of the bulk of the work away from the trainers so the trainers can stand in front of the camera and just teach. Because it's a lot to do to teach and do the remote production. And I'm experiencing that tonight. It takes a lot. You could do it. But guys, like I'm giving you like some real jewels here for people that are thinking, I like my job. I really like to be more of a creator. There are jobs that are opening up around the world. And this is a remote job. So we're not asking you to move or anything. So anytime I did find out with doing it in LinkedIn, anytime that it says United States and remote, that means completely remote. When it has a city or something, they may want you to be in that city so you can come into the office, but you still work remotely. And if you're really good, I have some other jobs here. If you're really good, they say, we'll work out that you being remote. The big thing is, can you do the things that Ecamm can do? Do you know how to use this software to be able to produce some great shows? If you do, guess what? This job right here is willing to pay you some real money to do it. All right? Yeah, so we got people saying that it can be really hard to do a lecture and try to do it online. So having people like yourself that's proficient with Ecamm, you're able to take that away from the professors, the teachers, the lecturers, the trainers, and all they have to do is teach. All right, what else do we have here? I guess I did a part 2 for this one, talking more about the roles and responsibilities, hosting and moderating multiple live online trainings, preparing instructors, verifying and editing event materials, ensuring the event runs smoothly. You will be well versed and balance multiple projects at various stages of their life cycle, planning, influx, and review. Guys, like somebody need to be like hitting the like button right now because this particular job itself, I think is really, really cool. I thought the first one was good. Working for visit.org, this one is cool too. Especially since they were able to, just put it out there how much the salary range would be. And if you get the job, I just want like a, what they call a bird dog fee that I gave you the information. I love it. I love it. This is another one that I think could fit someone. I don't think this one is not all the way full time. This is kind of like a part time virtual classroom producer. You could do this. Don't change your job, your career, or anything. Give them 2 or 3. So program vary in length from 2 to 6 hours per day. While they're unable to guarantee a set number of programs and hours, we have ample assignments available. So the position is not full time, nor does it have benefits available. So it's a part time gig, but listen, for somebody that needs to pick up a little extra, be a virtual classroom producer. And it's the same gig as the other job, but on a smaller scale. I'm telling you guys, giving you some jewels here today. Giving you some jewels. So another one. This guy here, Chad, is a real estate developer, philanthropist, and podcast creator. He's looking to grow his podcast. He needs someone to do his podcast from end to end. All right. He's not looking for one for work from him. He's looking for someone from whom he can work. Okay. He's looking for somebody to executive produce and manage the production process. Guess what you have in Ecamm? A way to manage and executive produce any type of podcast, audio or video. Why am I saying this? Guys, I'm really trying to help tonight. I'm really trying to help you understand that there is a way for you to monetize your ability to proficiently use all of the features in Ecamm to make you some money and not wait on, if you're a content creator, you're not waiting on YouTube's creative program. This gets you out of the rat race with trying to figure out all the reels. Forget the reels, forget the shorts, forget TikTok. Go work for someone and make real money. I'm going to have questions and answers in just a minute, but I wanted to wow you with this one. So MTV is looking for someone to help out at Comedy Central. So the Daily Show, I actually, a friend of mine, Roy Woods Jr., works for the Daily Show, right? Like he's one of the correspondents. So I follow the Daily Show. I follow him. And the guy that just left, I was following him as well. So I watch what they do on Instagram, and they are doing fairly well keeping up with all of the reels. So they're coming into a season to where they're going to have back-to-back temporary guest host. They need people to help them with social media, guys. Are you proficient with social media? Do you know how to do shorts and reels out of long form content? Can you do it remotely? Listen, they say, hey, this applicants are located in, while we strongly prefer the applicants are located in NYC area, we are open to remote work for the right candidate. I'm just sharing this stuff with you guys, hoping that as we talk about the potential of the job, so we talk about all the time. I think that's it. The last one is what question and answers here. So Q&A time. So let me get back on screen here so we can talk together. And I want to pull up the comments. Guys, talk to them if you got any questions. And like Paul, he will always say Q colon and then your question, and I'll try my best to answer them tonight. Someone is asking here, I think I already talked about this. So what is remote production? And Paul may have answered this question as well. So when we're talking about remote production or virtual productions, this is what I'm doing right now. So I am virtually producing in my studio in Birmingham, Alabama, that is now being cast through Ecamm to YouTube all around the world. So all you have to do is go to YouTube, find Ecamm Live, search for the stream show. You see me, and you're able to watch it. And what I'm doing is remote production, okay, virtual production. So even if take me out of the equation as the host. If I had someone else in the studio that was switching the buttons for me, bringing up the comments, they would be the producer. I would be the host. They would be the producer. So in our case, we are one. So Ecamm is like best for one-man productions. So if you're a one-man show, this is perfect. So you got your Ecamm, you got your mouse, you got your stream deck. You can do whatever you want to do and look professional with Ecamm. What happens is there is a role for just producers. So if I had somebody in here again, other than me, that was pushing the buttons, that was moving the mouse, changing the scenes, doing the stream deck, they would be my producer. And those jobs, based off of where we're going technology-wise, becoming more and more available, and they pay extremely well. Hear me when I say this, they pay extremely well based on the work. That being said, will these job posting be available after this? So, Al, that's a really, really good question. This is something that I actually did for the show. So I did my research. This is actually a presentation that I did out of Canva. I mean, I can post them up, but to be honest with you, I can post them somewhere for you. I don't mind doing that, Al. Maybe I'll put it in the Ecamm community, and people can watch this show and see some of those jobs. But go to LinkedIn, virtual event producer, remote event producer, and you'll be able to find these jobs. They're out there. But I would do my part in making this available a little later on. Maybe I can put it out there where people can get it. So great point. And thank you guys for your thumbs up. If you got questions, I need you to hit me up so we could do it. Yes, thank you. I got it, Al. So if you guys don't have any questions, I mean, you're going to be missing out here. I want to do my best to be able to help you through this particular process of using what we have in Ecamm, all of the features, all of the functions, the way to look extremely professional with Ecamm. There are jobs, there are people that are looking for you. So don't just sit and say, well, I'm trying to build my YouTube audience. Get a job that you can use these skills and you can still be a YouTuber, a content creator, as you build and get paid for it, but you're in the same industry. My friend Brant Collins, we just had Brant on last week, right? He went from being a credit union marketing manager in his city to going to be a full-time content creator because he wanted to be in the content creation space. What gave him, not only did he have 20 years of media experience, but he was actively using that experience on the stream show. So he was able to show just by sending them a link to the stream show, like, this is what I do. Helped him get the content creator job. And that, guys, could be you too, by you just knowing, again, how to proficiently use Ecamm with all the features and functions, and then positioning yourself with a great media kit, showing your production, showing your show. You do not have to have a great audience. They're looking for you to be able to present well. So you want to show that you can do that. And there's opportunity from you the first one I showed was visit.org, and it was a company out of Mexico that needed remote producers. Disney needs remote producers. I saw a couple of jobs out there. Now, Disney, of course, they have ABC, ESPN, all of those smaller companies are under the Disney umbrella, but there are jobs out there. Okay? I feel like I'm preaching, try to make this happen. Hey, Richard, thanks for hanging out with us tonight. All right? Okay, maybe I was missing this. Maybe I didn't move my cursor fast enough. What skills do newbies need aside from learning Ecamm? Um, if you're proficient at Ecamm, what I would suggest you do on an ongoing basis, work with the job, try to produce the job that you want to go after to get. So if you're going to be hosting other people, ask your friends, hey, do you guys need somebody to host your show? Like you got to show somebody, ask somebody to be a remote producer for them. That's a novel idea. Do it for free. And then that is your resume. You don't have to say I do it for free. You can say, hey, I produce this particular show. If you are inside of the Ecamm community, guess what? The majority of us are one man's show, one woman's show. It's one person. If you are someone that wants to be a remote producer, contact those people. I would love to have a remote producer. I'm sure Anna and Fulgens would love to have a remote producer. I'm sure Doc would love to have some help. All of us would love to have help, but we need people to understand that they need a resume builder. Okay? Listen, I've gone after several people. I've worked with several people over the years to just help. Didn't ask for anything, never got any money for them. I just wanted to help them in what they were doing, but it allowed me to meet more people, to network. Just what I was saying earlier, you need to network. And it also allowed me to then add my work that I did with them to my resume. That's a good question. If you understand, I want to be sure, Ms. Green, that I get all of this out. What skills do newbies need aside from learning Ecamm? You want to know about media, period. You want to watch. So if we're talking about virtual events, if we're talking about remote stuff, I would say CNBC. I would say CNN. I would say Fox, not for the content, but for how they are using camera angles, camera switching, and they all are using those boxes. Like, how does it look? Okay. And because that's really a remote production job. Okay. Whoever's producing that, they produce stuff similar to what someone may hire you for. So duplicating that look and knowing how to switch, knowing how to use all of Ecamm, I mean, like really knowing and being proficient and having a great Stream Deck setup, knowing how to work your mouse, having a great audio setup, and knowing it will make the difference for you. But great question. Al, so he said, hey, can you share some of the job titles to look up in LinkedIn again? So, virtual event production, remote event production, okay? A remote video production. Great question, Al. Thanks for being with us tonight. So would coaching on how to show up online fit into remote production? So yes, the quick answer to that question is yes. So if you're in your home office, okay, and people are watching you, you are a remote producer. If you're doing the whole show by yourself, you are a remote producer. You're the coach, all right? You're the coach, you're the talent, the host, and the producer. Okay, so what I'm doing right now, I'm hosting, I'm talking, and I am doing a training on how you can use Ecamm as a remote production, virtual production to actually get jobs, position yourself to get jobs. But also, while I am throwing these questions up on the screen, I'm producing the show. When earlier I went through my whole deck of jobs there, that was a production deal. Someone else could be doing that, and all I had to do was talk. But I'm a one-man show. So guess what? I have to do it myself. So I'm hosting and producing this show all at one time. So if you are doing that, so the question is, would coaching on how to show up online fit into remote producing? So if you're coaching on that, how to show up online, because the host, how to show up online, they need to know it as well. So even if they use me on a technical end on how to show up online, I may still need to coach those people that are coming on. I'm behind the scenes, but I may need to tell them, hey, I need you to get in the center of the screen. I need you to project well. I need you to move your microphone, position it right. You still need to know how to show up online. And yes, that is a part of remote production. Okay? That is a part. I had to answer that question in a couple of different ways based off of what I'm thinking you're saying with that question. But thank you for hanging out with us tonight. So Ms. Green says, so aside from Ecamm, Canva, what tools and software do you need to know? So that's a really, really good question. Most people are going to want you to know some of the Adobe suite. So we use Canva a lot because, but you may want to know how to do Photoshop. Okay. And I would not allow what I don't know to be a stumbling block. As I was going through this, they said a lot of the things they were looking for, guess what? If they give me 10 things that you were required to do, and maybe you got 7 of them, they still want to talk to you. Like, you can be trained on Photoshop. You can be trained on Illustrator, like if it's the job. But also, if you know how to use Canva in a way that they're not aware of to make it look like it was Photoshop, guess what? They could care less what you're using. Can you have the outcome? Like, are you producing the outcome that we want? Are you able to slide in with the lower thirds and build all of that? That's what they want you to be able to know. But yes, the Adobe suite is one of the things that you want to be aware of. So Ecamm, Canva, the Adobe suite, and some type of video editor. All right, whether that's Premiere Pro, which is Adobe, whether that's Final Cut, and whether that's DaVinci. You want to know a video editor because you will probably have to edit videos as well. But really, really good question. Okay. So this is a comment. So she didn't have a cue, but I want to give it to you. Remote producing for a house of worship is huge. Yeah. So I work at a church, and part of my job is the media department, and it is a big deal. Okay. It is a big deal. It is a big deal. So yeah, I was saying that Doc and Anna and Fulgence, they have to have producers, and Paul is like, that's him, Mr. Moderator. That's what he does, and he is off the chains. And David, man, thank you for saying this. Thank you for the support. Al, thank you for the support. What I wanted to do when I had this thought, and thank you, Paul, for putting this in the comments so people can get it. Virtual event productions, remote event video production. These are terms you can put into LinkedIn, and also, type in remote as a filter, and you can find those jobs that way. What the idea came off of the conversation I was having with my friend Brant. And again, Brant Collins is now a content creator, and he's done several different things in his life, and he's still building on creating content because that's what he's good at. But he is doing that for a company, a local company in his area. Guys, what I'm telling you, whether it's part-time and you're helping people out, I was talking to Owen Video, who is another huge content creator that teaches content coaches, right? He's a coach to content creators, and he says the job in our creator economy is going to be those people that are willing to do the remote production. Okay, is not in front of the camera. Now, we get the benefit with Ecamm of being host, all right, having to be host and be producers. So we know the whole gamut. Like, I've got this thing 360. I was telling somebody the other day, I actually have to build 10 pieces of content for this particular show. Like, I'm the graphic artist. I'm the real editor and producer. Okay, I produce the reels and do all that kind of stuff. I'm that guy that does it all. So guess what? My resume is long, and so are yours. Now, you may be smarter than me by sending some of your artwork and your thumbnail productions to Fiverr, or you got a graphic designer and all other kind of stuff, and you're not working hard, you're working smart, but you still have the ability and the know-how and resources to be able to get people to help. So it's still something that you could do. Even if you don't personally do it, if you know how to get the job done. I thought about it when talking to Brand. And I said that if you know how to use Ecamm, there is a whole world available to you. Salary ranging anywhere from $50,000 to $90,000. There are full-time jobs. There are part-time jobs. There are hybrid jobs. There are all kind of jobs available if that's what you want to do. But don't put yourself in a box and say, I can't gain an audience. Like, I'm not resonating on YouTube. What are you trying to do? Like, while you are building that audience, you can actually be using these skills with the great software that Ecamm has given us to monetize your effort in an area that you already like. That it already pushes those buttons for you. And it's nothing like doing something that you're excited about. And I wanted to share that with you today. So I hope I encourage you guys with some good stuff. I still got questions coming in. So as long as I have questions, I want to stay here with you. So if you got questions, put them in. Paul and I are here for you today. So I'm going to try my best to answer these questions. And what would you recommend? Be sure I get it here. For a 30-minute video, stream as far as manpower, hours, pre-production, and post average hours. Hold on, let me be sure I understand. Help me out with that by maybe restating that question, or Paul, if you understand it, help me figure out exactly what they're saying. What you recommended for a 30-minute video stream as far as manpower, hours on pre-production, with pre and then production and post-production average hours. I think I understand it. So for a 30-minute show, just say your research took your hour. Just say research is an hour. We'll start right there. And then if I'm going live, and as you do this, you may need less time. So it may be between an hour and 30 minutes ahead of time being in your particular seat. So if I had guests, I'm actually in an hour early, making sure all of my scenes and everything are set up. I'm asking my guests to come on 20 minutes before to be sure they're set up right. So an hour for research, an hour for sitting in my seat, getting prepared, a 30-minute show, and maybe 30 minutes on the back end, organizing my files, making sure I have everything, and maybe you would say another 30 minutes to go ahead and repost. Now, that didn't say anything about maybe the hour of graphic designs and setup, because you got to have your thumbnails, you want to have your reels. You want to be able to post those things inside of the community, on your page, on Instagram. I'm just thinking through all these things off the top of my head. So we'll say graphic design and social media posting to advertise what you're doing, an hour. We want to say research, so you know what you're talking about, even if you know about your guests, so you ask the right questions. We want to say, so that's another hour. We're at 2 now. We want to get there an hour early, making sure everything's set up, making sure your computer is being rebooted, making sure that you're on Ethernet, making sure your overlays and your scenes are set up right. And then you got your guests showing up inside of that. And then you got a 30-minute show. And then it could be 30 minutes to an hour after your show, repurposing that material. Now, I always talk to my guests after the show, and I'm telling you, most of the time we talk a little longer than 30 minutes. even after this show. So altogether, I'm talking, as I'm doing my hands here, I'm talking 5. All right. Thanks, Paul. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight. About 5 hours. Does that answer your question? Does that make sense? Like altogether, I am producing 10 pieces of content for my show. So I have, and I'm doing this off the top of my head. I got it written down somewhere, but I may forget something while I'm doing it this way. So I have my thumbnail. Let's just start there. Then I have my YouTube description of the show. All right, that's still content, guys. Then I have a reel advertising the show. Okay. So thumbnail, description, reel advertising the show, and then I do have the show. Then what else is there? What else am I producing? Thank you, David, for hanging out with us. We're gonna wrap it up here because I'm forgetting all of the pieces of content because I'm not going off the top of my head about looking at all of it right now. But I do the show, and then after the show, we repurpose that show, and then we also have a podcast. So right now, I know I'm forgetting something. Yeah, thank you, David, again, for hanging out with us. And for anybody that's didn't go through my whole slide deck, go through the deck. Jobs are out there. I talk about what you need to have and be for a remote producer, like, and the jobs that are available out there. So we got another question. So good answer, about 6 hours pre, post, pro, post, publish. Nice summary. Thank you. No problem. No problem. I hope that helps. And that's just from my experience. That's what you want to do. So reason why someone will ask that question, I'll end with this if somebody doesn't have another question. Yeah, copywriting. Yeah, that's yeah. So you want to be able to write copy that is content. And thank God for AI because that helps us write the content a little faster, but you still have to be good at knowing what works. And thank you for those likes, man. Y'all are killing me with the likes today. So if you've heard something and you hadn't hit the like button, I need you to do it. The reason why you want to know how many hours you put in as a remote producer or producing shows with research, with graphic designs and all the other stuff, because those hours have value too. You can't just say, oh, I have a 30-minute show. They asked the right question. How many hours does it really take into doing a 30-minute show? And we come up with between 5 and 6 hours. So now what they would pay you for a 30-minute show, just think about, that's not an hour, so it's just 30 minutes. They actually need to be paying 6 times what, double that, 6 hours worth of time. Does that make sense? So if you say, okay, I'm $100 an hour, it's a 30-minute show, that gets me down to $50. Okay? So, but it's really, it's really $600, between $500 and $600 for a 30-minute show. Yep. That's the money. That's what it is. You talk to other ones, that's the standard for a live stream show. Somewhere about $500. But remember, you spend more time setting up the show than you actually do live. And you actually spend time, even more time afterwards, making sure everything is set up right. Okay? So Richard has a question here. So is it best to maybe have a minute fee versus hour for remote production? For example, 5 hours, minutes to start. Hold on. Even if it's a 30-minute show. So let's do this. I told you guys my wife is a musician, right? And sometimes promoters can outsmart you. Listen to this story. If I say to them, she is so much money, She's $10,000 for an hour. Well, they'll say, well, what about just 30 minutes? And they'll automatically think, well, that's half the time, right? Half the time means it's half the amount. So I should only pay 5, right? That's what it should be. Her rehearsal didn't change. She still got to get there for sound check. She still has to be there at the same amount of time early. And nothing else changed other than that 30 minutes of show time. But all the prep, all the traveling, all of that is the same. So guess what? They've used her name. They filled the room because as a promoter, you want to give value to the people that actually pay, but you want to sell tickets, and they will use artists' names to sell tickets. If you're providing a service, even if it's a 30-minute show, know that it really takes a whole lot of prep time to get to that show. It has taken a whole lot of experience. Maybe it's not your show. You don't have to do the graphics. You're just doing the remote production. Think about all the experience, all of those shows that you did and you messed up and your internet went out and all the bad things that happened to you while you're live streaming that gave you the experience to be able to do it at the highest level to get paid for it. They have to pay for that experience. So doing it by the minute may not work. You want to be sure that when you're starting out, guys, I've already told you, you might have to do it for somebody for free. But as you do it, the idea is you're adding to your resume so you can present your resume filled with the experience that you can use to get paid and paid at a very high level. So yes, there'll be some times you say, hey, I'll take the minimum. I really just need the opportunity. I would love to do it for you. But you're going to the jobs that I've showed you today. These are top-notch jobs that you want to get the highest pay for, and then you want to deliver the right thing. Yes, Miss Green, plus your thinking time. Plus your thinking time. Guys, this has been awesome tonight. And again, thank you guys so very much for hanging in there with me tonight and watching this. I started this because I was really thinking of you. No doubt. Like, the idea is for the people that are in our community, how can we really help them? And allowing us to be thoughtful, allowing us to be thoughtful about how we can use this great software of Ecamm is important. Like, you guys are real remote producers. You guys can produce. You're producers. Put it in your title. So, content creator, host, and producer. Yes, get paid for what you know, not what you do. And thank you so very much for letting me know it's time well spent. You just never know. To be honest with you, when I did research for this particular show, the research didn't show well. It didn't. Like, there's not a lot of videos talking about this, but I was thinking, man, if it was me, I would want to know. I remember when I didn't know that I was a producer, that I would miss out on opportunities because I felt like I couldn't do it. But if someone called me now and said, hey, we got this big event, we want to know if you can do it. I've already done events. I produced events. I'm in the back. I loved it because I have to worry about my camera or anything. It's not about me. So it's easier to remote produce for me because I don't have to worry about being on camera and doing it. So it's half the job. I love it. All right. I said I would stop, and I will. All right. Thank you so very much. I'm glad you enjoyed it tonight. Guys, next Sunday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I have none other than Kevin Colby coming to the show. Kevin is a content creator and coach. So we're going to get coached up a little bit. Like really, I'm going one-on-one with him. So Kevin has been to the show a bunch of times. He's been to the show a bunch of times, but it's been like with panels. Now we're going one-on-one. Content creator and content creator coach Kevin Colby is going to be here with me. So I'm so excited about having him, and we can kind of go. He is like one of the coolest guys in the industry, and he is a award winning producer. So I'm bringing somebody to you. Like we're talking about all this stuff. He has been in the industry, and now he's coaching here. I don't want you to miss it. All right. So that's been my time, guys. This is what I want to do. I want to come out of here. If you got anything else, don't mind, put it in the comments. I'll do my best to reply to those comments. Thanks for hanging out. Okay. I'll see you next Sunday. Hey, this is DJ Strick, and I would like to thank you for watching another edition of The Stream Show.